Welcome back to the show, Nirvana Sisters family. We are back with Natasha Brinkmann, aka Beauty Junky Monkey, on TikTok and Instagram. We did an episode with Natasha a while back. I was looking, it was like episode 96 and 97. We did a two-parter because we had so much info. But she is back. Natasha, master
Hello.
esthetician, skincare consultant, educator. Welcome back to the show. We love having you.
Thank you.
This is amazing.
Always a pleasure to be part of your guys's podcast. So thank you again for having me. And
Yes.
yeah, I just love skincare and yeah,
I
just
know.
got
And
my
your videos just continue to educate. I'm always like, how does she have all these ideas? But then every every time I watch a video or piece of content that you make, I'm like, oh, that's such a good tip. Oh, that's such a good idea. Like I just love it so much. I know our community does too. So thanks for being on. And I was saying before that you look fabulous. Your skin is glowing. Your eyes are stunning. Your whole vibe is just
thank you. I
amazing.
really went for, like I said, the international look. I wanted to kind of go. Plus, I came from the gym and I didn't have time to do my hair. So I'm like,
I love it. I
beautiful
know. I
scarf.
was like threw my hair back today too. So what's been going on with you? Tell us everything. I know I've seen like
Oh,
tons of growth on your Instagram and TikTok and your brand partnerships and all these fun things, but would love to hear what's happening with you.
thank you. Well, yeah, life just gets crazier and crazier. I thought a couple of years were fantastic, and then this year kind of popped up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So, last year I started taking my master's medical aesthetics because again, I
Mm,
have my full esthetician, which a lot of people don't understand in the business is that you have people that will either train in one thing, like just waxing or just nails or just like one thing. But when I took my aesthetics, I did all of it. So I did my
okay.
full estheticians, right? So I was completely full aesthetics back then. But going from that career to policing now back to, online skincare consultant, kind of a bit of a pivot again in my career. And I felt a little bit out of touch. So what I wanted to do is I went back to school and I took my
Ooh,
master's medical aesthetics. So this is all the advanced techniques. So I could work with a dermatologist or with an RN, and I could be either their assistant or basically I don't inject, but I can use what they've pulled out of you. So if you wanted to do like a vampire facial, PRP, I could administer that after the fact. So
oh,
laser
love that.
treatments, any type of microneedling and so forth. So I
Oh,
went and I
love
did
that.
that. On top of that, I did my 30-day skincare challenge, which I love to do every January. So I did
Yes,
that.
that was amazing.
That was
I
that
followed
was
that.
every single day I put out a lesson plan. So it is literally every day I'm trying to teach you to help you build your own skincare routine because this is what's not taught, right? So
Yes.
the biggest thing is everybody tells you, oh, this is the best product. This is the best product. Everybody will say that. But the problem is nobody tells you how to use it. So then that way you maximize the results. And there's some ingredients that are really awesome, but they're really active. And you don't want to start pairing them immediately right after, you started another active ingredient because it can cause irritation. Some people can get away with it, most cannot.
Right. So
So,
for our listeners, they could go back on, is it on your Instagram and TikTok,
yeah,
like the 30 days? Yeah. And it's
yeah,
just like step by step. So every day you can kind of like start fresh. Cause I find that too, even though I have a million products and always trying things, sometimes you forget how to use them or in which order or like what pairs with what. It's complicated.
it can be, it
It
can
can
be. And I
be.
mean,
Right.
I have to say, and honestly, like all these new brands and all these brands that have been coming out, I love testing them and I play with them. So that's the other thing that I'm really adamant about is I make sure that I test everything before I bring it forward on my page. And there's a lot of products that I've tested, especially last year, that fell completely flat. And everybody's like,
Mm,
these are the best. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's,
yeah.
it's average at best. But I don't like to poo-poo other companies because again, that's not my angle, right? My angle is to stay positive and tell you what works. There's plenty of people out there that tell you what doesn't work. So I would like to be the other side of the coin
Yeah.
and going, this is what works. This
Right.
is a good place to
You're like,
spend.
if I'm not talking about it, that means
You
I
got
don't
it.
like it.
I'm not a fan. Let's just
Um,
put it that way.
So I recently so there was a product that you talked about a while back that I really wanted to try, and there was it was sold out for a while, and I just got it a couple weeks ago, the Maylove Peptide Squad, which I love because I was also using your recommendation for like probably the last year or so, the Matrixyl and the Agiraline, and I would use them both,
Yeah.
but this seems like it has both plus more, and
That's
it's
more.
one step.
Correct. So this is the best part about evolving, and a lot of my followers and even clients, they're all like, okay, well, why is this not good? It's like, no, 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 it's still amazing. It's
Yeah.
just this company was working on this product for 2 years. So Maylove, I had the awesome opportunity to talk to their doctor who actually created that
Ooh,
formula, because
tell
this was
us.
unique. You typically don't use the vitamin C, especially L-ascorbic, with any type of copper because it can have some counterindications. So you can use it with different forms of vitamin C, but L-ascorbic or ascorbic, typically you don't touch with peptides, you don't do it with everything. So I was emailing them and sending them messages left, right, and center. And I know they knew who I was. I love their brand. So they're like, do you want to talk to the formulator? I'm like, yes, yes, I
Amazing.
do.
Yeah.
So I had the awesome opportunity to talk with them. We decided to do a live event. So I was a guest and got a chance to talk and pick her brain and help my viewers understand the peptide squad. But the peptide squad is truly unique because it has your line, which is your neuropeptide, tells the muscles not to move so much. Everybody calls that the Botox in a bottle. That's
Right.
what's in there. Then they have Matrixyl. So there's 4 different versions of Matrixyl. So they have your traditional Matrixyl 3000. So that's the hardy one. That one is a signaling peptide. So everybody's concerned it doesn't go in. No, no, no. It's not meant to go in. It's a signaling peptide. It sits on top and sends signals. Tells your skin, help me. I need more collagen. So that's the nice thing about what that product will do. Plus niacinamide. If you ever, as long as you don't have an allergy to it, niacinamide is next to godliness. I call her sporty spice because she shrinks down your pores. She tightens up your pores. She helps balance out the oil and hydration. So if you're dry or if you're oily, she's just amazing. She lightens and brightens. She's an antioxidant. Like I could go on and on and on. So love niacinamide. Then what she did is she added copper peptides. Now, copper, again, if you use it too much in your skin, it can actually have an adverse reaction. It can break it down.
Okay.
But they used a really nice copper blend and they bound their copper, which maybe for most of us, we're like, well, what does that mean? It means not it's free floating. You can use it with an L-ascorbic vitamin C, and you can use it with any type of retinoid. So tretinoin, retinal, or retinol.
Oh, wow.
And so
Okay.
I was just like, oh my God, I can use this both day and night and get all these amazing results. And I forgot to mention, sorry, last ingredient was rice peptides. And rice
Okay.
peptides help to prevent the breakdown of collagen. And the best part is, I call this peptide squad like the steel magnolia of peptides, because every single actress in there is sensational.
Yes.
You get the best bang for your buck.
It's just a one-stop shop. So like now I'm not putting on like 5 different layers. I just use that. Now, do you use that before or after a vitamin C or a retinol or all those things?
Well, typically whenever you're doing any type of layering, the laws of layerings are always the same. Thinnest to thickest, water-based first, then creamy, or it's a water-based, kind of serum-y based. Then you want to do anything kind of a creamy serum-y, and then creams, and then oils. There's always rules to the exception, and you can sandwich certain ones in. But if your oil is more like that kind of, or sorry, the vitamin C is more in an oil base, that one's going to go on after everything else. So then that way it has time to do its magic. So you don't put it on right out of the gate. You put it on a little bit further on.
Okay.
So whenever you're looking at your skincare product, if you ever get confused, go thinnest to thickest, water-based, cream-based, oil-based.
And water base, I know this is a dumb question, but like water base. So like the peptide squad, which is like a blue serum-y, is that water base? Or
Yeah,
is it
that's a little more water. Like it's more serum-y-esque. I would say that's more of a serum. So if you're using like L-ascorbic acid, vitamin C, like if you're, like SkinCeuticals seems to be a popular one. So if you use that one, you would use that one first, then you would use the peptide squad, and then you would use moisturizer SPF if you did it during the day.
Okay, makes sense. And then at night, same philosophy applies. So
Correct.
So I just wanted to shout you out for recommending that product because it saved me a lot of time and like thought. Like I don't have to think about it now. Like before, I'm like, wait, let me put on my Matrixyl and then my line and then my vitamins. And now it's just like I don't have to think about it. I put it on and it's fabulous
amazing.
so far. I'm loving it. I've had it for like a few weeks, so it's so good.
Wait, it just gets better and better. That peptide squad is just sensational. And I'm, like I said, I'm able to build any skincare routine with it. And people who want to do the peptide squad, you want to make sure that you're using it when you need it. So if you're in your 20s, you're not going to need it, my friend. You're really not. But if you're like your mid 30s and up, definitely put it into your skincare routine. It will not.
And it's fine. And is it safe to use every day?
Yes, absolutely. Day and night. Absolutely. They're peptides. Totally safe.
Okay. And then I've been hearing you talk about, which I don't know anything about, just I've seen your videos on the anti-age, or is that how you say it? That new anti-age.
Yes.
What is this and what do we need to know about it?
Oh, that's a whole new level of awesome. That's that's a whole new level. So when I went back to school, during my practicum, in their studio in their course, they had the ATIAGE, and I remember looking at it, going, I remember this. I've used this before in my earlier 40s. I remember. So this company's been around for over 12 years, and I had some concerns because it has growth factors and cytokines, and this is extracted from human bone marrow stem cells. Right.
Okay.
And as soon as you say that, you get all these crazy
Right.
images of
Like,
like
okay.
back alley stuff,
Right.
placentas being sold, which of course was not the case at all. And what I really liked is that, my instructor, she was so good. Talked me through it and how it was done, and went on the website and read more about it. What I really want to point out is that this is ethically sourced. They only get it from 18 to 24-year-olds, because you want to have that is the peak time where you pull out those communicators, and that's what they're doing. They're taking it out of the bone marrow. And by the way, these people are well compensated, so this is a long process. This isn't just some quick thing, just to be clear. And then what they do is they extract the cytokines and the stem cells, or the growth factors, pardon me. Those are communicators. That's all they are. Everything else
Okay.
gets. So there's no DNA transfer. There's nothing that's going to freak you out. It is an oncology approved. So this was really important to me. I had skin cancer. I don't want to have anything, not to mention my husband's been through cancer. So anybody who's been touched by that, we get really nervous when we hear things like that. So I can tell you it has been oncology approved. It is also breastfeeding and pregnancy approved. Now, I will say the caveat, always bring it forward to your doctor. Everybody is different. But before you start it, I like that they had the approval from the oncology and pregnancy save. So that was like, oh, good.
Yeah. Very good.
So what they did with the ATIAGE, so this is where I would say this is where skincare will be eventually going.
Okay.
So just to kind of break it down, when you have basic skincare products that you can purchase all of them, through, local drugstore, Sephora, your spas and so forth. But they're the key components: vitamin C, peptides, retinols, and exfoliants. Those are kind of like the pillars, the base.
Right.
Then what you do is you go up a step if you wanted to do things like treatments where you had PRP, plasma-rich platelets, things like that. That's kind of the next level, but that's not always convenient for people. Not everybody likes needles. Not everybody wants to use that as a procedure. So that one's kind of fallen off to the wayside. It was really big, I think, when Kim Kardashian brought that out. I don't know how many years ago, but it was effective, but it was only effective because it's based on how healthy you are. So if you're not doing great, you're not going to get great results, which again, another limitation. Well, here comes growth factors and cytokines. If you have a human to human, they speak. Human and plants, they don't speak. It's like trying to talk to your husband when he's watching the game. There's no communication. I love my husband. But that's what I mean. So when people are like, oh, well, I get mine from plants, then it's just an antioxidant, meaning it's not going to change your skin the same way. So with ATIAGE, they took all your serums that you typically would find in a skincare routine, all your retinoids and your vitamin C that you would see, and then two-part system, and then they loaded it up with stem cells and cytokines. And it has been a game changer.
Wow.
So what can people expect? Maybe that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Volume back in the skin. So for people who have had the face dump, this typically happens when you kind of start hitting perimenopause, menopause. We lose 30% of our collagen. You can't control that. It's going to happen.
Right.
So when that happens, this is an option for you. We also lose the fat pads in our face. So unless you want to gain weight, and who wants to gain weight? Most people do not. So that's what this does, is it tells your skin, it's a communicator, and it tells your stem cells and your cytokines to behave like they did when they were 18 to 24 years old. So that's where the healing comes back in. So your skin is constantly healing. So your skin will get thicker. You'll have more volume, especially in the nasal labia and the marionette lines. That's the biggest part, where the jowls start popping up.
Yeah.
As soon as you start noticing that, you might want to start considering the ATIAGE, because it's going to pop those right back
Or maybe
up.
do it before.
Well, I don't know if you'll see the same results. That's the problem.
Oh,
like I did try it in my early 40s, and it was like,
yeah,
I didn't appreciate it because I wasn't there.
right.
I was still doing.
And now you can actually see the difference. Yeah.
Oh, huge difference. And what I like about this product is because it's speaking to your skin differently, your results are sensational. The longer you're on it, the better it gets.
Is it something you do? Is it a night treatment, a morning treatment? Like, is it a cream? Like, what's okay?
Yeah, it's simple. You cleanse, the 1 part, the 2 part, you put a moisturizer on in the morning, SPF, at night, you cleanse, 1, 2, moisturizer, go to bed.
Oh, wow. And you
That's
don't need
it.
to put on anything else with this. Like we're talking about the peptide squad and all that. Like this, like takes all that away and you just do
That would
this.
take, yes. So you can add little boosters in there, as I like to call it. So if you wanted a little extra peptides, you can. It doesn't have the copper or so like if you're nitpicking and you want to, some people like to do more than just the base. But I
Yeah.
always say use it in its purest form at least for 3 months. Because the
Okay.
results for me when I was using it, I used it
Well,
solid
I mean,
for
you
3
look
months.
amazing. Your skin looks
Thank you.
incredible, but it always does. But it does have that extra, like it
Right?
does look
Yeah,
a little plumper and more,
a little
I
bit
don't
more
know,
weight.
just lifted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ATIAGE. So I was on it for 3 months. I had a really, really hard time. I tried a different skincare line. I promised them I'd try it. I'm a woman of my word. And within about 3 weeks, my skin started to regress. And I'm like, nope.
Like, can't use this.
Can't, I don't want to sacrifice myself. So we'll see how that goes now. But yeah, it's a game changer. And then of course, a level up from that, which is coming out from stem cells and cytokines, will be what are they called again? Sorry, I'm just having a brain fart here.
All good.
Exomers.
Yes, I heard about this from something I was listening to recently.
Yeah, so exomers they're a hybrid of growth factors and cytokines, but they're also excessively
Ooh, someone's at my front door. It might be my
Oh,
delivery. Hold,
go.
please.
Hold, please, while we enjoy some music.
Okay, I'm back.
Woohoo!
Woo!
You finally got your package.
Oh my God, he's so funny. He's like, thanks for being here. Cause it was like the final delivery. I was like, oh my God, why couldn't you leave it? He's like, I couldn't. You had to sign for it. Anyway.
No worries.
You were talking about this. I can't pronounce the name. The thing with the X.
Anti-age.
No, the next
Exomers.
level.
Yeah,
Eczemers.
exomers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have to think about that one too. And it's like I say it a million times, but my tongue like doesn't.
Yeah, it's a hard one to say. Okay, eczema. So what is
Eczema.
that?
So that's a hybrid of growth factors and cytokines. So again, it's communicating to your skin, telling your skin to behave differently, to heal differently. In fairness, I haven't done too much research in that just yet. I'm still
Yeah.
getting my hands and my feet under the whole growth factors. And for me, I find the best way to really appreciate a product is to use it and to
Right.
feel it. And then I bought a whole bunch and I gave one to my 77-year-old mom, one to my girlfriend who's got different skin than me, and then one to my sister who has more oily acnetic skin. And every single one of them, their skin improved and it looked like sensational. So
Wow.
I was shocked. I took a photo of my mom's skin. I also posted it on my on my website, or not website, pardon me, on my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, so people could see it. And that's my mom. That's real results from 77-year-old
Oh, I
skin.
can't wait to see it. So you've been using it for 3 months and you're still using it, right? Is it something
Yeah.
you just, yeah.
I stopped for like I said, about 3 weeks because I
Right.
did test another brand. So I'm catching back up again.
Right. And you're like, oh,
results
I
were
got to
even
go
better
back
than
to it.
this. Yeah. Like I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like I even told them, I said, you're up against stem cells and cytokines. Are you sure you want me to?
Right. Because that's like, it sounds like to your point, like what's starting to happen next, like this trend of like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what the category is. It seems like it's stronger, but it's not really stronger. It's just like more close to your.
More advanced.
Yeah, more
I think
advanced.
I would like to call it more advanced. Now, I want to say the caveat is you cannot get it off of Amazon. You're not going to see social influencers promoting it because you have to be a professional to have access to this. So
Okay.
myself, because of my training, my business is I do skincare consultations online. And so my shop, if you will, is unauthorized distributor link
Okay, so
from.
people can buy it from the link off of your socials on your website.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or off my my website. Yeah, my
Mhm.
website or my shop. My shelf is where I have all my favorites in there.
Okay.
And or if they have a Medi Spa in their location that carries the ATIAGE, they can get that one as well. But
Okay.
do not buy it off of Amazon or the complete fakes. And this is not cheap stuff. So I think in the States it's $220 for both bottles.
Mhm.
And in Canada it's going to be $300. So it's not
Yeah.
cheap, right?
Yeah.
So you have to put into consideration what your budget is. How, are you there yet? I always tell people,
Yeah.
use it when you need it, not beforehand, because once you start it, it will be very, very, very hard to get off of it. The
Yeah,
results
and it's like I'm starting to notice this, which I never had before. Like when I wake up in the morning, because I must be like pursing my lips at night or something, and then I'm like, "Oh, what are these lines? Why is this starting to happen?"
yeah,
Of
but that's the whole thing, right? And I mean, it's not going to make you a 20-year-old. I mean, I think we're
course.
pretty right. But at the same time, again, my goal is to help you achieve your results, whatever those may be. I have some people, the most important thing to them is melasma. Other people, it's aging. Sometimes it's all three. It's like,
Yeah.
well, that limits us because what you do for melasma, that routine is going to be different from an aging
Right.
routine. You can kind of mix them together, but it can be, I don't want to give them like 16 steps. That's ridiculous.
Right. You want to make it easy. So, um, Tretinoin is an example. Is
Yeah.
that it's a different category, I guess? Like, how does that compare to something like anti-age if someone's just doing tretinoin at night? Like I do tretinoin, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, tretinoin is a retinoid, right? So it's the
Right.
retinoid family. So tretinoin, retinal, retinol, that's how I kind of do it. And then bakuchiol is a nice derivative of it. And basically what they're doing, if I can simplify it, it's called apoptosis of the cell. It's telling the cell to die off faster
Hmm.
and produce better skin. So it's that stimulation that we're looking for within your skin because our skin slows down as we age, right? So
Right.
our skin cycle is typically 28 to 31 days. And when we start aging, it can slow down to 45 days. So when people say, hey, I've used it for 2 weeks and I see nothing, I'm like, that's not even a skin cycle.
Right.
Like you got to give your skin time to absorb that ingredient change and then change together. So what
Yeah.
a tretinoid is doing is it's basically killing off the top layer of your skin,
Hmm.
forcing the bottom layer to reproduce faster. That's where the irritation, the flakiness, the dryness,
Yeah.
it's basically you're killing it off too fast. So that's why people have such a hard issue. And it's so strong. Tretinoin, that's not encapsulated. There's no buffers. It's bazooka
Yeah.
blast skin. If you have thick, hardy skin, you can handle it. If you're somebody like me, thin and dry, I tell you, retinals are better.
Right.
That's where you want to go. But that's one component of how to change your skin. Vitamin C is another component to how to
Right.
change your skin. Peptides, another component on how to change your skin. Now we have stem cells and cytokines, another communicator that is very robust. So all you're doing is you're just taking your pillars and then you're adding an additional boost,
Right.
right? So I guess that's the best way to put it because a lot of people can do tretinoin and they do great with it, but other people cannot. And there's
Yeah.
still, tretinoin is not going to fill up the marionette lines or the
Right.
navel,
That's what I was going to ask.
unfortunately.
So I'm fine doing tretinoin. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't do it
Yeah.
every night, so maybe that's why. But I see sometimes I get a little dry flakiness, but
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes, like you had put out a video, like, do you feel like it's plateaued? And I don't know if it's plateaued. Like, I feel like I need something else to like zhuzh the skin to like, to your point, like give it more volume because it's starting to like come to, so like what can make it more, to
Yeah.
your point, like more volume, thicker, etc. And I feel like the tretinoin is more of just like wrinkle kind of reduce. I mean, I don't
It is
know.
both. It does actually help with the collagen production. So one thing that happens when we age as well, it just really sucks, is that the top layer of our skin gets thicker, but it's like the dead, dehydrated, dry stuff. And the bottom layer, actually, we lose that collagen. So it thins
Yeah.
out underneath it. And that's where the volume, we lose that volume loss, right? So that's
Yeah.
why it kind of comes in. We're like, oh, that's not what I want to see.
Right.
So when we're using, like I said, the tretinoin, we're stimulating that collagen to reproduce faster. And if you introduce it nice and slow into your routine, it's like learning how to run.
Yeah.
If you go too fast, too much too fast, it's like, hey guys, wait up, I'm not there yet. Your body hasn't trained to turn over that width. So if you're finding that you're using tretinoin every single night, and you can slather it on and nothing's changing, then I would recommend going up to the anti-age.
Got it. Okay. That's
Yeah.
helpful because I think
Yeah.
a lot of our listeners probably do some form of retinol or tretinoin or
Yeah.
something. And this sounds like it's like the next level up, which is really good to think about and exciting. I love all these advancements in skincare. It's just like seems to be evolving
Just
quickly.
exponentially.
Yeah.
It's sensational. I'm honored to be alive in this time where we have these options, right? And it's exciting. I've had so many different things now because of the way that things are moving. You know, I even had PRP done on my knee. So if anybody has
Oh,
like
wow.
arthritis in their knee or any
Yeah. Oh,
injuries,
that's interesting.
yeah, they pulled it out of my arm, they spun it, and they put the plasma-rich platelets, and they just injected into my knee, and I have no knee issues right now. I did once.
Wow.
So medically, we're really evolving, and if you can kind of get over the ick factor of it, you know, kind of
Yeah.
make your peace with it. They're injecting hyaluronic acid into joints now. My father had to have a hip replacement, but while he's waiting, you know, it was just bone on bone. So what they did to try to alleviate that is they take your hyaluronic acid, or they take hyaluronic acid and put it in there just to
Hmm.
help buffer that, to help that cushion.
Yeah.
So it's incredible what is available nowadays, but it's also making sure that you're purchasing what you need when you need it. And of course,
And from the right people, because I know
and
there's
from
so many like bad things on Amazon. It's very, I don't buy a lot of skincare on Amazon because it makes me nervous.
I don't buy any
Um,
skincare off Amazon. That's
yeah,
a hard no for me because I have no clue where it's coming from.
I know. It's
Yeah.
scary. It's scary. And is there any side effects from the anti-age? Like, do you get dry or anything like you would get with a retinol? Like
Yeah.
what could people expect from that point of
So
view?
if you are prone to acne or breaking out, you definitely will have a bit of a breakout. It usually subsides within 2 weeks. So again, my
Okay.
sister was acne prone and so forth. She broke out first couple of times, looked at me sideways. I'm like, I said, just push through it. Just
Like,
push through
yeah.
it. Stop looking at me like that. And then after her skin, her pores were so tight. I was shocked.
Wow.
I was shocked. I'm like, holy crap, you look like a porcelain doll. And she's 55 to put things in perspective.
Hmm.
So if you are prone to breakout, you will break out. It is rosacea safe, but again, rosacea is a green wiener. So just be mindful of that you probably won't have an issue, but if you're nervous, just go nice and slow. And then of course, everybody else from aging to dry skin, there is a healthy amount of bakuchiol in it, which is a retinoid derivative. So yes, you can dry down a little bit, especially if you try to pair your retinoid with it. Because I know a lot of people have asked me this, can I use my retinoid or my tretinoin with it? Yes, you can. However, I don't know if you actually need it.
Right.
Because the product is, like I said, the longer you use it, the more skin cycle you have of that ingredient.
Right. It's almost duplicative.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't need extra. Have I tried a retinol with it? Yes. Did it bonus? I think so. I thought I looked sensational. But now this go around, I'm going to do it without it and just see how she rolls. Because again, it's something I can always add in, but you can be
Exactly.
a little bit dry. And it's really important if you do suffer from dry skin, always use a little bit of oil in your routine somewhere.
Yeah.
Just because it's going to help keep you plump and juicy. And you can use a light oil during the day and you can use a heavier oil at night. I love skin glazing.
Yeah. I was going to say, what kind of oil do you like? Do you have any brands that you recommend?
Oh God, I love so many. That's the problem. I've tried so many. I love a good blend, like in its simpler form, it's nice. So for one, I like putting just a hint, like one drop underneath my makeup.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make your skin look flawless. You want to use a nice light oil. I love Diana Madison. She's very she's got the prickly pear in her formulations. She has not only the nicest oil to use that for, but also the best masks I've ever used.
Okay.
Then there's another one. Oh gosh, what's it called? It's a purple bottle. It'll come to me in a minute, but that one was sensational under makeup as well.
Okay.
If you're more on a budget kind of idea, Kiehl's.
Oh,
Kiehl's Makeup
Kiehl's.
Recovery, sensational.
Okay.
Nighttime, for me, I need something really heavy. So I'll do the Herbivore Phoenix Oil. That's my
Oh, I
holy,
have that. Yeah. It's a
yeah,
great
that's my
one.
holy grail. Another really good one is the Pharmacy. I believe it's Honey Halo Glow something or other.
Okay.
That one's really rich. That's like, I love that one. That just sucks everything in and it keeps the skin really, really
And you
hydrated.
just put that on at the end to give it a
Yeah.
nice.
And you pat it on. You don't want to rub your oils because it can break down. Well, not break down, but yeah. No, I would say it breaks down some of the other products, especially depending how they're formulated. So I always say if you have oil, just pat it on your skin.
Yeah.
And a good trick that I want to tell everybody out there, I know the nighttime is the hardest time to do your skincare routine. And I just want to put this out there. Do your skincare routine when you're done for the day. If you're done at 3 o'clock and you're like, it's going to be zombie day, pajamas, bras off, let's go.
Right.
Do your
Smart.
skincare
Yeah. Just get it
then.
over with.
Just
Exactly.
do it. And then that way, when you sit on the couch, you're like, I am done. Perfect. Then you can go to bed. You don't have to worry about your skincare. So even if you use an oil or any of these other products, it's kind of taking care of that. Well, is it going to go on my pillow? Well, yeah, if you do it right before bed, unless you sleep on your back, you're going to get
Right.
something on your pillow. But
Yeah. When you're home
yeah,
for the
that's
night,
kind of
just
like
do it early.
my little 2 cents. Do it as soon as you get home.
Yeah. Good idea. Exactly. When
Yeah.
you put on the sweats, it's time to do your routine and then you're done and you can
Just
have
get it
your
done.
glass of
No.
wine.
Amen.
Um, Switching gears, what are your thoughts on, because I've been testing a couple like toners, like Korean skincare type stuff.
Mm.
Have you tested that world of all of those brands, or what are your
Oh
thoughts
God, yeah.
there?
Yeah, lots. I get lots. Well, Depology is Korean. I don't,
Oh, I
everybody
didn't know
doesn't
that.
realize
Okay.
that, but it's Korean.
Yeah.
They're one of my absolute favorites because they're independent. So they
Yeah.
have really great companies. I did a video on body, and there's one, I can't even remember the name. I'm so sorry, but it's a really good exfoliant, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you have ingrowns. Because I don't know about you guys, but I shave my bikini line. I don't
Uh-huh.
wax that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get ingrowns and that little peel was so good because you could put it in your bikini line. It was so gentle, it didn't burn.
Oh,
And then
nice.
that way I didn't get any bumps. So there's lots of amazing products from the Korean line, but I will say this, the caveat is still the same as any other products out there. There's a lot of okay products.
Yeah.
So just kind of keep that into consideration. Just because it's Korean doesn't mean it's the holiness of holy. It's
Right.
just a different format, and they have different techniques. They have different ingredients. But at the end of the day, does it change your skin any differently than another brand? I don't know. It would depend. Everybody's
Right.
different.
It's probably goes into the four pillars that you were talking about. It's just another brands, but
Correct.
could work
Another
different.
formulation. But if I
Yeah.
find something I love, damn straight, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, for
I got to share
sure.
it with my friends.
Yes, we need to know all the things. And then what are you seeing? Like, I know you do a lot of private skincare consultations, or people obviously DM you and stuff. Like, what are people asking about? I know that the trend of, these growth factors and all of that is coming out, but like, what are people asking? What do they want to see? What are they having issues with?
Yeah, how to build a routine. That I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest mistake that we're seeing in my industry, in the aesthetic industry. We're not teaching people how to build a skincare routine.
Yeah.
And just to kind of pull the curtain back and share a little bit. When I grew in my aesthetics, all my online, my skincare routines and so forth was all from the company. So
Hmm.
you work at a spa, the company rep comes and tells you all about their product, how absolutely amazing it is. And then, when you work with different companies, they carry different brands. And then when you're recommending these products to your clients and they're coming back and they're giving you feedback, that's the best information you can get, because now you're knowing, well, that's not working. So first you have to flush out if they're using it right, because 9 out of 10 times there is a bit of a user, that we have to kind of make sure that people are using it properly. But the second component is not every skincare product will work for that person.
Right.
There's the active ingredients in there are not in there for that person and that skin type and that issue. And we're not teaching that.
Right.
And that's where I think a lot of people are getting frustrated, because you go to a company, yeah, they'll build you a skincare routine. They know nothing about you. They don't look at your skin. They don't know your history. They
Right.
ask you no questions. It's very basic. So for some that works. People with normal skin can pretty much get away with almost anything. But if you're like me, dry, dehydrated, you have rosacea, you have oily skin, completely different story.
Right. Right.
So
Everyone's different.
I think what's coming down the pipeline, especially on TikTok, you have a lot of formulators and they're telling you, actually, no, you can pair all these things together. I get nervous when they say that, because you're going to have somebody that's going to pair like an exfoliant with an acidic form of vitamin C and burn the face.
Yeah.
And I really want to say, just because one person can do it does not mean you can do it. And so what I would like to do is I would like to see the dermatologists, the estheticians, and the formulators come together
Right. And provide
help
information.
us
Yeah.
figure it out. Like, I feel we're missing that key component. I consider myself a bridge between the dermatologist and the formulators, because what I do for myself is I research every product, and then if I have an opportunity, I will talk to the actual formulators at that company.
Right.
And I talk to them about, how do you formulate? Because one formulator will say, no, you can do this, and another formulator will say, no, you can do it that way. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff in between that we're not agreeing on. So, and then it's based on experience, bias, opinion. It's a lot.
What's trending.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're
More.
lucky we have people like you that can give
Yeah.
us all the correct information and then can come on podcasts like Nirvana Sisters and give us all the things we need to know because you're
Yeah.
very trusted and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. I could go on all day, but I want to give you time back. But I have a last question for you, and this is a beauty question because, of course, we always have to do a beauty question. I saw you had a video, and I've noticed your lashes are gorgeous, and you've been using method lashes. I saw, which I hadn't heard of, and I played around with like lashes for a while. I'm not wearing them now, but like sometimes I'll throw them on again, and then I saw the method, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to hear about those."
Oh my God. I'm using them 99.999% of the time. I was actually ordering them before we
Oh, that's so
popped
funny.
on because I ran out. So Method Lashes, actually my girlfriend, I can't take any credit for it. She was the one wearing them. I'm like, God, your lashes look so good. Did you get them done? And she's like, no, Method Lashes, you actually put them on underneath your lashes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, no way. And I mean, again, when I did my aesthetic training, I actually learned how to put every single individual lash on. I
Yeah.
hated it. That
Yeah.
I
Oh, it takes
never,
forever.
I did not like that. And paying $200 every 2 weeks to get them
Yeah, I
redone.
used to do it. It's a nightmare.
I was just like, I did
Yeah.
that for like 2 or 3 months and I'm like, what am I doing? This is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I like the convenience of them, right? So when she got me on Method Lashes, they're broken up into 4 or 5 different sections. And what you do is you just put the glue underneath your clean lashes, and then you put like a little bit of glue on, there's like a little edge, I guess it is. And then what you do is you don't put it on the actual water line, just above the water line. And
Okay.
then you just tuck it in, and then you put all 3 or 4 or 5 versions. You just kind of work from the
Yeah.
outside in. And then they give you a sealant. And what I like to do is I like to take the tweezers and I put the sealant between the tweezers and then I squish it.
Oh,
And
okay.
those will last me 7 to 10 days.
Yeah. Okay. So they're similar. I used to use, or I still have them, but I haven't used them in a while, like Lashify or Head
Yes.
Candy is another brand. Similar. But I want to try those because they look like really good ones and they can last 7 to 8 days. That's good. I always have a hard time washing my face when I have lashes on because I feel like around the eyes, it's hard to do eyeshadow and stuff because you feel like it's hard
They
to get
fall in
off.
there.
You have to be
Yeah.
very careful. That's the only thing that bugs me about wearing lashes. But I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I got to put them on again because sometimes when I don't want to put on makeup, if you just have those lashes on, you look ready to go. It's amazing.
You can go to the gym, you don't care,
I
you just
know.
little SPF and tinted SPF in your lashes, you're ready to
Yeah.
rock
And
and
you're
roll.
light like me. So I have lashes, but you can never see them because they're so light. So I always have to put on mascara or I look so washed out. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I got to do this again because it's like getting annoying.
It's so worth it. I'll tell you, the first time you do it, it's going to be a hot mess. You don't want to be doing it the first day when you have like something really big. You're not, it's like everything else.
It's a learning curve.
A little
Yeah.
bit of a learning curve, but oh my God, I love them. I'm kind of obsessed with them because again, I can wear them for a week. I can sweat in them. I can do everything that I need to do with them. They don't blow off. Sometimes if I use too much oil close to my eye, it will break down the glue, but the glue is more like a rubber base. So it doesn't hurt your lashes at all. It's very
Right.
flexible.
Yeah.
So I just tell everybody when you're washing your face, I hope you're using a face cloth because that little face cloth, if you wrap it around your finger and you just kind of glide it, it won't touch them. You'll be just fine because remember they're attached underneath, and you
Right.
just kind of glide them over top, and then you can just do like a little either a Q-tip or a gentle rub on top to make sure if you got any like eyeshadow on top of the lashes, just to gently get those off.
Yeah.
But and they're affordable. You get 3 lashes for $30.
Yeah. That's good.
In 3 sets. So you buy the box and you get 3 sets of lashes. That's 3 weeks worth of lashes for $30.
Yeah.
Sold.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
I
good. All
love
right. I'll
them.
have to
I
try
also have
them.
them on Shop My Shelf as well because
Okay, good. We'll check that out.
anytime I love something, it goes on the Shop My Shelf because I mean I've had all when I work with my like maybe I should back up here. Sorry. When I start doing my online skincare routines, my clients usually ask me, "Hey, I'm done this moisturizer. What's next for my skin type?" And when you have 100 people asking you the same question, you're
Right.
like, "I need to design something for that."
Yes.
So that's what Shop My Shelf is. It's basically a hub where all my links are, including the
Okay,
entourage and
perfect.
method lashes and all your traditional stuff that you can find. CeraVe. A lot of people like to use my Shop My Shelf as like a guide because I
I
did
know. I was just going to
it.
say that because everything's vetted by you. So there's no like, you
Correct.
don't have to wonder. It's like, okay, we know it's all good. It's just a matter of what we need and what's going to work best for us.
And what's affordable because I have different
Yeah.
affordabilities on there. But
Okay,
what I
great.
like is it's curated based on skin type. So if you kind of like, oh, I'm dry, then you go into the dry and you'll see all the different cleansers, all the moisturizers, all the oils, all the, all the things that can work for you or skin type, and you can build your own routine based off of
I
it.
love that. Okay,
And
we'll link to it for sure.
yeah, that's for everybody. Initially that was just going to be for my clients, but then I had so many people ask and I'm like, well, here, build your own routine. If that helps you, great. Quick thing, if you do shop off my shop, I do get a small commission. So I
As you
appreciate
should.
everybody. Well, I just want to be honest, I
Yeah.
appreciate people that you do take it, but I also go to the manufacturers and try to get discount codes for you guys. So
Yeah.
I do my best to help. So everybody wins in that scenario, but
That's
you
great.
don't have to. You can use it as a reference if you want to run to Sephora, the Shoppers Drug Mart, and pick up what you need.
Yeah.
By all means, go right ahead. And then I also, what I did new this year, which I was working on last year, is I have now online skincare routines available for purchase.
Oh, that's
So
new.
that is very new. I worked my butt off. So what I have is advanced aging skincare routines for oily skin, dry skin, rosacea, delicate skin, oily skin, acnetic skin. And I'm putting out, the anti-age. So if you want to get into the anti-age and you want to know what you can pair with it and how to build it into your routine, I actually built a specific routine for it. And it also includes microneedling. So if you want to get some extra microneedling, I also did an
Nice.
advanced peptide solution. So that would be one for people who don't need the anti-age yet, but they want to do as many peptides as they can. And I give you examples, my top 3, so you can pick some of your best choices. So you get not only the program, but exactly how to build it. And if you have ever any questions about your routine, all you have to do is email me and I can answer any questions for people who've built their own. And they just have like, can I do this and this? Yeah, absolutely. You're good to go.
Okay, so where can people find this? Is this on your website?
That's on my website, www.beautyjm.com. Thank you, Amy.
Love it.
Little
Love it.
self-promotion there.
Well, and it's good too, because I know it's really hard to get an appointment with you. So like this is like a nice alternative. And then that's great that you can answer questions if there are questions that come up.
Absolutely. Once you purchase the routine, if you have a question, I am happy to answer them because I understand there's only one of me. I am booked up until September right now.
Yeah.
Solved. So I've opened up as much as I humanly can, but I'm trying to do education, routines, answer questions. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
It's
Well,
a lot.
thank
I
you for
love
your
doing it.
time and for being on the show again. We want to have you back as many times as you want to come, because every time I
Anytime.
learn something new, and you're just so just your knowledge is so deep, but it's so helpful for people like me and our community who is like, they know a little bit, but to be able to get deep into it and to really understand it and to know what works and doesn't work and to, do things slowly and carefully is really important. So appreciate you being here as always.
Love it. And
And
I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to tell people like you
of
can have
course,
gorgeous skin at any age. Don't worry about that. And just know that you have options and just be very mindful of what are you trying to do with your skincare routine and then purchase based on that.
yeah,
So the influence of influencers, and I know I'm technically one of them now, but ask yourself, what does this product do for me? If this is all about like lightening and brightening your skin and that doesn't appeal, like that's not your concern, don't get that product. You don't need it.
right. Just
If
because
you're
it looks
looking at
pretty.
exactly, is it just a moisturizer, a really nice moisturizer? Is there any actives in there? If there's no actives, I'm here. Then it's just an expensive moisturizer. There's nothing in it that's going to change your skin.
Right. I always
So
joke around like all these younger people like in their 20s, like I feel like skincare has gotten so big over the last, 5 years or so that like all these young people now, by the time they're older and in our age arena, they're going to look amazing because like when I was young, I was like barely, I like washed my face. I had no routine, didn't even think about it. And now there's so much education that all these people are really taking care of their skin. By the time they get to be, older, they're going to look amazing.
yeah,
Because they've been doing it all along versus me who was like in the sun and, damaging my skin for however long I was doing that for.
didn't we all do that? Baby
Awful.
oil on a redhead, bad idea. I regret it.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't like, did I wear SPF every day? No, like it didn't even occur to me. It wasn't a
No.
thing.
No, we didn't realize that, like, we knew it wasn't great, but we didn't care. You know, I don't know about
Yeah.
you, but I wanted that LA glow. I never got the glow. I just got freckles and then eventually skin cancer. So,
Yeah, me too. I've had a lot of basal cells, so I'm like
uh,
in the shade and sunblock every day. But you
yeah,
know, that doesn't happen until you're older. So like in my 20s, like I wasn't,
exactly. We didn't think
Anyway.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so much has changed. And that's the best part, is that the education is out now.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's really, really exciting. I'm loving this. It's a great time to be in the field.
Yeah. I love it. Well, thank you again. Hold on. I have to take a quick picture. We'll post it. Hold
Okay.
on. One more. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show.
Oh my,
Appreciate it so much. This was awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. Are you do you have so are your client we're off. We can just
Okay,
chit chat.
perfect.
Are we did I close the show? I'll just hold on. I'll close the show because I don't know if I did. I got distracted with my picture. Thank you, Natasha, for being on the show as always, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely.
So are you now taking clients? Your book solid till September. That's wild.
It's ridiculously crazy. I just had my podcast release from Dr. Young.
I saw that.
So
I have to listen. I'm so
I was
excited.
shocked when he sent me the email. I'm like, what? Like, what, me? What?
That's
So
amazing.
that was a hell of an
Congrats.
experience. Thank you. So there's been a lot coming down the pipeline. I have a little bit more kind of in the sidelines happening that may, or I never want to announce anything because you never know if it's going to actually come to
Mhm.
fruition. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
oh, let's do this. And then it falls through. So I don't
Yeah.
say anything just yet, but yeah, it's going so well. I'm so
Good. I'm
shocked.
so
I
happy.
have to
That's so
say,
great. You
I'm
deserve it.
shocked that I could take this career and go this direction, and just, I love it. It's more impactful than when I was a police officer, to be honest,
Wow.
because when you're policing, you're working within a system, and you stop the crisis in the moment, but you can't, there's no follow through with it.
Right.
Here with people, it's their identity, it's how they feel, it's who they are.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of people are really self-conscious. And if I can help them mitigate that and improve it, that to me is so rewarding. And it's kind
Yeah.
of, it's, for me, it's self-fulfilling, because I just want people to feel good about themselves.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I
And
don't
it's
know
hard
about
to
you.
find like a trusted resource.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so happy that you're sharing your valuable time and energy with us because it is hard to find the right people online who are giving you proper
Yeah.
education. And so I think when you find that, it's like you can see in all your comments, like everyone values the
Yeah.
information and really appreciates it. And
Of
everyone's
course.
learning from you. So we love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And like I said, thank
Amazing.
you. Anytime, Amy, if you guys ever want to have me on again, I will make space for you guys. You
Oh,
guys have
you're
a
so
beautiful
sweet.
platform. You're open, you're honest. And that's where I want to, help people, because I don't want to be around something that's not authentic,
Yes. No. Thank you. We
So I
appreciate it. Katie
appreciate that.
says hi. It was her kid's last day of school today, which got
Oh,
moved because they had a snow day. And she was like, oh my God, it's like the last day. I didn't even realize that I have class parties. I'm like, no problem. Don't worry. I'm like, I'll say hi
well,
for you.
tell her I say hello back.
I
And like I
will.
said, we could do another one in the fall or winter, whenever
I
you
love
guys
it.
want, and we can give some great tips and tricks to help people mitigate the winter months. So happy
Yeah.
to do that. You just let me know, and you have my
Love
email,
it.
so feel free.
Amazing. Appreciate it. Have an amazing weekend. And thank you again.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Take it
Good
easy.
seeing
Oh,
you.
and don't forget to send me before it comes out so I can promote it as well.
Yes, I have to look at the schedule. We're doing a lot of replays this summer, so I think we might save it for like August, September. But I
Yes.
don't know. I have to look at our schedule, but I'll definitely send you an email and the links and all the things.
I appreciate
All
that.
right.
Awesome. Thanks,
Take
Amy.
care.
Have a great
Bye.
weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.